Hey Moz fans, welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Friday. Today we're talking all about how to get your web dev on board with SEO. So really excited. I think you'll notice my biggest point here, and I couldn't feel more strongly about the fact that we really do have so much to learn from developers. It's wild. So hopefully this video helps kind of open some of your minds or expand some of the ways in which you can do that, because it'll make you a lot stronger. So first and foremost, create a genuine relationship with the developers you work with. Better understand their role and how they're measuring their own success. Know what languages they program in. Better understanding their perspective and their opinion on things helps you create a better working relationship. And part of that is cultivating trust. And one of the ways in which I've found some success cultivating that trust is just admitting when I have no idea how to implement a particular SEO fix. Or even when I sort of think that I do, I prefer to ask, what is the best way you see this being implemented? How would you most efficiently implement this change or optimization? And more frequently than not, they will have a way better way to make these website changes because they have that back-end knowledge of the website. So, being humble, kind of expressing that you don't know everything. You're not trying to step in and tell them how to program pages or how to fix that. It should be way more of a communication and a transaction of just information from both sides. Learning from developers, like I said, it helps you become a much, much stronger SEO. I promise you. It is one of my most favorite things working here at Moz. I have learned so much from the developers here, but likewise, some of the developers have learned things from myself and other fellow SEOs that work here, right? This is a symbiotic working relationship where developers want to program sites and pages that do well in search, right? And I think it's part of your job to express and communicate the potential value of a well-crafted web page, right? Show them how much more powerful their code and their work can be if set up properly or set up with thinking about, JavaScript and Google crawling, different aspects of it. That's what makes it a really efficient working relationship. And be open to just learning new things from your developers. Number 3, be a champion of the developers you work with, right? Understand what it is they're trying to accomplish, and if there's any way you can help support that or consider that in your work and the things you're making progress on, it's a win-win, right? This is a common problem, and something that a lot of people ask about is creating this workflow or process in which you can keep an eye on dev changes. For really large websites, this can get unwieldy. So it can be difficult to keep an eye on changes that might affect SEO, but if you can have that conversation with a developer, a team of developers that you work with on what's the best way to manage this, right? Can you add me to GitHub so I can look at things that are getting pushed, or whatever that might be? It can really help create this space where you're doing preventative SEO, right? You're making sure that nothing goes terribly wrong in the future and kind of makes it more manageable in the long run. Share your SEO wins with the developers, especially when they've helped you and maybe provided better solutions. You should absolutely thank them, and what a great opportunity to sort of share in those wins and continue to grow that working relationship. And lastly, ask for feedback. If you feel like you're struggling to communicate with a group of developers or a single developer, just be honest and ask, use some radical candor and ask, how can I better work with you? How can I better support you? And opening that up for some feedback can also help to strengthen the relationship. And then the one last thing that I hope you can really leverage as a tool to grow in your SEO efforts and to help you get more things done with the development teams is the developer's cheat sheet to SEO, right? This is a great resource to open up this conversation with developers, to sit down and have a conversation about why some of these things are important to you as an SEO and what comes to mind when they look at it, right? They have a totally different perspective on a lot of the things within this sheet. And so it's a great opportunity for you to sit down and have those conversations and be able to excel in your SEO efforts. So I hope some of this helps. I think it's one of the most important things in getting SEO work done and seeing that success. So please let me know what you think down below in the comments. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, what other questions you have, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks.